Arrival at the scrapyard. The vast expanse of space was eerily silent as the ancient human supercarrier, Prometheus, emerged from hyperspace. The colossal 10-kilometer-long behemoth, bristling with advanced weaponry, was a relic from the golden age of humanity's galactic expansion. Its sleek lines and powerful engines were a stark contrast to the ramshackle scrapyard it now approached, a chaotic mess of rusting ships and salvaged parts strewn across the lifeless moon's surface. Commander Zepp stood on the bridge of the Prometheus, his sharp eyes scanning the scrapyard below. The ship had taken severe damage in a recent battle, and Zepp needed rare resources to make critical repairs. Without them, he and his crew of 50,000 would be stranded in uncharted space, easy prey for pirates or hostile aliens. Scan for usable materials, Zepp ordered his loyal first officer, Axel. Platinum, titanium, ultra-dense carbon fiber, anything we can use. As the Prometheus rumbled toward the scrapyard, Zepp noticed alien gun batteries swiveling to target them. An alert blinked on the console, an incoming hail from the scrapyard commander. Zepp narrowed his eyes. Things were about to get interesting. The scrapyard's comm system crackled to life, and the face of the alien commander, Crag, appeared on the view screen. His snout curled into a sneer as he spoke. "Human vessel, power down your weapons and shields immediately. By the authority of the Zorvan Empire, I demand you surrender your ship and all its technology to us at once. Resist, and we will destroy you." Zepp leaned forward in his command chair, his knuckles whitening as he clenched the armrests. There was no way he would hand over humanity's last supercarrier to these aliens. "Crag, I'm afraid I can't do that," Zepp replied coldly. "But perhaps we can come to an arrangement. My ship sustained damage, and we need supplies. We're willing to trade for what we need. I'm sure we have tech or resources that would be valuable to you." Crag let out a harsh bark of laughter. "You must take me for a fool, human. We both know your technology is centuries ahead of ours. The Zorgon Empire will not pass up this opportunity to seize it for ourselves. Surrender or be annihilated." Zepp cut the transmission with a stab of his finger. He turned to Axel. "Get a strike team ready. I'll keep them talking while you board the scrapyard and secure the supplies we need. Avoid engagement if you can, but if things go south, get our people out." Axel nodded grimly. "Roger that, sir." As Axel left to prepare the boarding party, Zepp reopened the comm channel. Crag's face reappeared, looking smug. "I've considered your offer," Zepp said sarcastically, "but the Prometheus isn't for sale. How about this? We pay you triple the market rate for what we need, then we go our separate ways. No one has to get hurt." Crag spat in disgust. "The Zorvan Empire bows to no one. If you will not give us your ship, we will pry it from your smoking corpse." Crag severed the link. On the tactical display, Zepp saw the scrapyard's defenses powering up. They were running out of time. In the armory, Axel and his 5-man strike team geared up with kinetic carbines, breaching charges, and low-profile recon armor. They headed for the launch bay, where a stealth tactical shuttle awaited them. The shuttle rocketed from the Prometheus's bay, cloaking as it neared the scrapyard. Axel watched the scrapyard approach, illuminated by floodlights and ringed with crackling force fields. It looked more like a fortress than a junk heap. 30 seconds, the pilot barked. The shuttle shimmered as its cloaking field engaged, slipping through the scrapyard's defenses like a ghost. It landed in a narrow ravine between two piles of wrecked ships. The hatch hissed open, and Axel's team darted out, carbines up and scanning. The scrapyard was a labyrinth of rusted hull fragments and salvaged machinery. They moved forward carefully, mindful of the unstable footing. Motion sensors pinged on Axel's HUD. Automated sentry guns loomed on the ridges above them. The team froze, melting into the shadows as the turrets panned across the ravine. "Drones incoming," whispered Axel's second-in-command. A trio of spherical drones with ion cannons floated down the canyon toward them, scanners probing the darkness. Steady, Axel breathed. Hold fire, let them pass. Hearts pounding, the team remained motionless as the drones hummed past, mere meters away. Once they disappeared from view, Axel checked the navigational data. The supply depot is 1.2 clicks northwest of here, he said. Stick to the ravines and shadows. Go slow and keep a low profile. The Zorgans know we're coming. This whole scrapyard is a kill box. The team pushed forward, hugging the shadows. The derelict maze was the perfect spot for an ambush, and Axel's instincts screamed that the Zorgans were out there, waiting for the humans to stumble into their trap. As they crept through the twisted labyrinth, Axel's heart pounded. They had to reach the supply depot, but the danger was palpable. The fate of the Prometheus, and possibly humanity itself, hung in the balance. Desperate maneuvers. Axel and his team moved cautiously through the scrapyard, their senses heightened by the constant threat of ambush. The eerie silence was broken only by the occasional creak of shifting metal and the distant hum of machinery. Axel's eyes scanned the shadows, searching for any sign of the Zorgan hunters. They reached a narrow passage between towering piles of wreckage. Axel raised a hand, signaling the team to halt. He pointed to a flickering light in the distance, the supply depot. Stay sharp, Axel whispered. We don't know what's waiting for us. The team advanced, their steps careful and deliberate. As they approached the depot, Axel's HUD flashed a warning. Motion detected. He signaled for the team to take cover behind a stack of rusted hull plates. Peering around the edge, Axel saw a group of Zorgan soldiers patrolling the area. Their reptilian eyes glinted in the dim light, and their sleek armor gleamed ominously. We can't take them head-on, Axel murmured. We need a distraction. He scanned the surroundings, his mind racing. Then he spotted a pile of volatile fuel cells nearby. If they could detonate those, it might create enough chaos for the team to slip past. Mira, set a remote charge on those fuel cells, Axel ordered. We'll detonate it once we're in position. Mira nodded and moved stealthily toward the target. The rest of the team held their breath, watching the Zorgon patrols. Mira placed the charge and returned to the group without being detected. Good work, Axel said. Everyone ready. On my mark, we move. He counted down silently, then gave the signal. The team moved quickly and quietly, closing the distance to the depot. As they reached the entrance, Axel pressed the detonator. A massive explosion rocked the scrapyard, sending shockwaves through the twisted metal landscape. The Zorgan soldiers were thrown into disarray, scrambling to contain the sudden chaos. Go, 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 Axel urged. They slipped into the depot, taking advantage of the confusion outside. Inside, the depot was a maze of storage containers and equipment. Axel's eyes scanned the labels, searching for the materials they needed. Titanium, over here, one of the team members called out. Found some carbon fiber, another added. They quickly gathered what they could carry, working with efficient precision. But the clock was ticking, and Axel knew the Zorgon would regroup soon. Hurry up, Axel urged. We don't have much time. As they loaded the last of the supplies, Axel's comlink crackled to life. Axel, this is Zep, status report. We've got the supplies, but we're running out of time, Axel replied. The Zorgon are regrouping. Understood. Get back to the shuttle ASAP, Zep ordered. We'll cover your extraction. Roger that. We're on our way. Axel and his team made their way back through the depot, the sounds of battle growing louder outside. They emerged into the chaos, the wreckage now a battlefield as Zorgan soldiers clashed with automated defense turrets. Stick to the shadows, Axel instructed. We need to reach the shuttle without being seen. They moved quickly, avoiding the main firefight. But as they neared the shuttle's location, a new threat emerged. A squad of heavily armed Zorgan soldiers blocking their path. Damn it, Axel muttered. We need another way around. He scanned the area, spotting a narrow maintenance tunnel that might lead them past the enemy. This way, he said, leading the team into the tunnel. The passage was cramped and dark, the air thick with the scent of oil and decay. They moved cautiously, every sound amplified in the confined space. "Keep moving," Axel urged. "We're almost there." They emerged from the tunnel near the shuttle, but the way was still blocked by Zorgon's soldiers. Axel's mind raced. There had to be another way. "Axel, look." Mira pointed to a control panel on the wall. "If we can activate those maintenance drones, they might provide a distraction." "It's worth a shot," Axel agreed. "Cover me." He sprinted to the control panel, his fingers flying over the keys. The system hummed to life, and a swarm of maintenance drones buzzed out, converging on the Zorgon soldiers. "Now's our chance." "Move," Axel shouted. They sprinted for the shuttle, ducking and weaving as the drones created chaos among the Zorgon ranks. The hatch of the shuttle hissed open, and the team piled inside. "Punch it," Axel ordered the pilot. The shuttle's engines roared to life, and they rocketed away from the scrapyard. Axel watched the scene below, the scrapyard shrinking into the distance. They had the supplies, but the danger was far from over. "Zep, we're clear," Axel reported, heading back to the Prometheus. "Good work, Axel. We'll be ready to receive you," Zep replied. As the shuttle approached the Prometheus, Axel couldn't shake the feeling that their troubles were just beginning. The Zorgon wouldn't give up easily, and the secrets of the scrapyard were still out there, waiting to be uncovered. But for now, they had won a small victory, and that was enough. Axel leaned back in his seat, his mind already racing with plans for the next step. The fight was far from over, and he was determined to see it through to the end. The secrets of the past. The shuttle docked smoothly with the Prometheus, and Axel led his team into the ship's bustling corridors. The supplies they had retrieved were quickly taken to engineering, where the crew worked feverishly to repair the damage sustained in their previous battles. Axel made his way to the bridge, where Zep awaited, his expression grim. The captain's eyes were fixed on the main view screen, displaying a tactical map of the surrounding space. "We've got what we need to make repairs," Axel reported, "but it won't be long before the Zorgon come after us again." Zep nodded. "We need to be ready. But there's something else. You mentioned you found something in the scrapyard, something important." Axel took a deep breath. "Yes, sir. We found remnants of a UN Solar Navy ship, the Icarus. It's been there for centuries, but its technology could be the key to turning the tide in our favor." Zep's eyes widened. "The Icarus? That ship vanished over 500 years ago. If its tech is still intact." Axel nodded. "We need to go back, Captain. We need to secure whatever's left of that ship before the Zorgon get their hands on it." Zep considered this for a moment, then turned to the bridge crew. "Set course for the scrapyard. We're going back in." The Prometheus rumbled to life, its engines powering up as it altered course. Axel felt a mixture of anticipation and dread. The Zorgon wouldn't be caught off guard this time. "Axel, gather a team and prepare for immediate deployment," Zep ordered. "We'll need to move fast once we're in range." "Aye, Captain," Axel replied, heading to the armory to gear up once more. The Prometheus slipped back into the vicinity of the scrapyard, its sensors on high alert. Axel and his team were ready, their gear checked and rechecked. The plan was simple: get in, secure the data, and get out before the Zorgon could react. "Shuttle's ready," Mira said, checking her weapon. "Let's do this." Axel nodded, feeling the familiar surge of adrenaline. "Move out." The shuttle launched from the Prometheus, cloaking systems engaged to avoid detection. As they approached the scrapyard, Axel's comlink buzzed with a secure channel from Zep. "Axel, we're picking up increased Zorgon activity. They know we're here. You'll have to be quick." "Understood," Axel replied. "We'll get it done." The shuttle slipped into the scrapyard's maze of wreckage, navigating the tight spaces with practiced ease. They landed near the remains of the Icarus, the ancient ship looming like a ghost from the past. Let's move, Axel said, leading his team out into the scrapyard. They made their way to the wreck, the eerie silence broken only by the occasional groan of shifting metal. Over here, Mira called, pointing to an access hatch partially buried under debris. This looks like a way in. They cleared the debris and pried open the hatch, revealing a dark passageway leading into the heart of the Icarus. Axel activated his helmet light and descended, the team following closely behind. The interior of the Icarus was a stark contrast to the scrapyard outside. The corridors were surprisingly intact, the advanced materials resisting the ravages of time. Axel's light swept over faded symbols and ancient control panels, a glimpse into humanity's lost golden age. We need to find the main data core, Axel said. It should be in the central command section. They moved cautiously through the ship, wary of traps or structural instability. The corridor was seen to stretch endlessly, a labyrinth of forgotten technology. Here, Mira said, stopping before a massive door marked with the insignia of the UN Solar Navy. This must be it. Axel approached the door, his fingers brushing the cold metal. Let's get this open. With a hiss of hydraulics, the door slid open, revealing the command center of the Icarus. The room was dominated by a large central console, surrounded by darkened screens and control panels. Secure the area, Axel ordered. Mira, get that console online. Mira moved to the console, her fingers dancing over the ancient controls. It's booting up. Just need a minute. The team fanned out, securing the entrances and setting up a perimeter. Axel's eyes were drawn to a holographic display flickering to life on the central console. It showed a star map, with various points of interest marked in cryptic symbols. Data core access granted, Mira announced. I'm downloading everything now. Axel's comm link crackled. Axel, we've got incoming Zorgon ships, Zepp's voice warned. They're moving fast. You need to get out of there now. Understood, Axel replied. Mira, how much longer? Just a few more seconds, she said, her eyes fixed on the progress bar. Almost there. The ground shook as the first explosions rocked the scrapyard, the Zorgon assault beginning in earnest. Axel's team tensed, their weapons at the ready. Download complete, Mira exclaimed. Let's move. They retraced their steps, moving quickly through the Icarus's corridors. The sounds of battle grew louder as they neared the exit, the ground shaking with the force of the explosions outside. As they emerged from the wreck, Axel saw the full scale of the battle. The Prometheus was engaged in a fierce firefight with multiple Zorgon ships, its shields flickering under the onslaught. Get to the shuttle, Axel shouted. They sprinted across the scrapyard, dodging debris and incoming fire. The shuttle's ramp lowered, and they piled inside, the engines roaring to life. Punch it, Axel ordered. The shuttle rocketed away from the scrapyard, weaving through the chaos of the battle. Axel's heart pounded as he watched the Prometheus struggle against the Zorgon assault. Zepp, we're inbound, Axel reported. Prepare for docking. The Prometheus's docking bay loomed ahead, and the shuttle made a desperate dash for safety. They docked with a jolt, and Axel led his team back onto the ship. Get those data cores to engineering, Axel ordered. We need to analyze them immediately. The ship shuddered under another barrage, and Axel rushed to the bridge. Zepp was there, his face set in grim determination. Status, Axel asked. We're holding, but just barely, Zepp replied. We need to get out of here now. Agreed, Axel said. Set course for the nearest safe zone. We'll analyze the data on the way. The Prometheus's engines roared to full power, and the ship leaped into hyperspace, leaving the battle behind. Axel slumped into a chair, exhaustion washing over him. We did it, he said, more to himself than anyone else. We got the data. Zepp nodded. Now let's hope it's worth it. As the Prometheus hurtled through space, Axel couldn't help but feel a flicker of hope. The secrets of the Icarus could be the key to humanity's survival. They had taken the first step in a long journey, and he was determined to see it through to the end. Unlocking the secrets. The Prometheus sailed through the vastness of hyperspace, the hum of its engines a constant reminder of their precarious situation. In the ship's engineering bay, Mira and her team were hard at work, analyzing the data core they had retrieved from the Icarus. Axel watched as lines of code and ancient schematics flickered across the screens. "This tech is incredible," Mira said, her eyes wide with amazement. "The Icarus was centuries ahead of anything we have now. If we can understand it, we could revolutionize our ship's systems." Axel nodded, feeling a surge of excitement. "How long until we have something usable?" Mira shrugged. "Hard to say. We're dealing with some really advanced stuff here, but we'll work around the clock." Axel left the engineering bay, heading to the bridge where Zepp was coordinating their next move. The captain glanced up as Axel entered, his expression serious. "How's it going down there?" Zepp asked. "Mira's team is making progress," Axel replied, "but it's going to take time." Zepp sighed. "Time we might not have. The Zorgon will be hunting us. We need to find a safe place to lay low and make these upgrades." Axel nodded. "Any ideas?" "There's a system nearby," Zepp said, pulling up a star map. "Uninhabited, but with plenty of resources. We can hide out there while we work on the upgrades." "Let's do it," Axel agreed. "We can't afford to be caught off guard again." The Prometheus dropped out of hyperspace in a remote system, its sensors scanning for any signs of life. Finding none, Zepp gave the order to set up a temporary base. Axel joined Mira in the engineering bay, eager to see the progress they were making. The screens were filled with intricate designs and complex algorithms, a testament to the advanced technology of the Icarus. "We've started integrating some of the Icarus's systems," Mira explained. "Shield enhancements, weapon upgrades, even some improvements to our engines. It's going to take time to get everything operational, but the potential is enormous." Axel smiled. "Good work, Mira. Keep at it." Days turned into weeks as the crew of the Prometheus worked tirelessly to unlock the secrets of the Icarus. The ship's systems were gradually upgraded, the advanced technology breathing new life into the aging vessel. One evening, Axel was in his quarters, reviewing reports, when his comm link buzzed. It was Mira. "Axel, you need to see this," she said, her voice urgent. He hurried to the engineering bay, where Mira and her team were gathered around a console, their faces lit by the glow of the screens. "What is it?" Axel asked. "We've decrypted a section of the Icarus's data core," Mira said, "and it's, well, just watch." She activated the display, and a holographic image sprang to life. It was a recording, grainy and distorted by time, but unmistakably human. "This is Captain James Harker of the UN Solar Navy vessel Icarus," the figure said. "If you're seeing this, it means our mission has failed. The Zorgon have overrun our position, and we are making a last stand." Axel watched, transfixed, as the recording continued. Captain Harker described a secret project, a weapon of unimaginable power designed to turn the tide of the war against the Zorgon. "It's called the Starfire," Harker said. "A prototype weapon capable of harnessing the energy of a star. We were transporting it to a secure facility when we were ambushed. The Icarus was lost, but the Starfire, it's here, somewhere in this system. You must find it. It's our last hope." The recording ended, and silence filled the engineering bay. Axel felt a chill run down his spine. The Starfire, a weapon that could change everything. "We have to find it," he said, his voice resolute. "This could be the key to defeating the Zorgon once and for all." Zepp joined them, having seen the recording from the bridge. "Agreed. We'll search the system and recover the Starfire, but we have to be careful. The Zorgon will stop at nothing to get their hands on it." The Prometheus began its search, scanning the uninhabited system for any signs of the Starfire. Days turned into weeks, the tension on the ship growing as the crew scoured every inch of the barren planets and asteroid fields. One day, as Axel and his team were investigating a particularly dense asteroid belt, their sensors picked up an unusual energy signature. It was faint, but unmistakably artificial. "We've got something," Mira said, her excitement palpable. "It's coming from that asteroid cluster." "Let's check it out," Axel said, feeling a surge of hope. The Prometheus maneuvered carefully through the asteroid belt, its sensors locked onto the energy signature. As they drew closer, the source of the signal became clear, a hidden facility built into the heart of a massive asteroid. "Looks like we found our starfire," Sepp said, his eyes gleaming with determination. "Let's get in there and secure it." Axel led a team to the facility, their shuttle navigating the narrow passageways carved into the asteroid. They docked at an ancient airlock, the metal groaning as it cycled open for the first time in centuries. Inside, the facility was a marvel of advanced engineering. The corridors were lined with dormant machinery, and the air was filled with the hum of long-forgotten systems coming back to life. "We need to find the main chamber," Axel said, his voice echoing in the vast emptiness. They moved cautiously through the facility, their lights cutting through the darkness. Finally, they reached a massive door, marked with the emblem of the UN Solar Navy. "This is it," Mira said, her voice hushed with awe. "The starfire must be inside." They forced the door open, revealing a cavernous chamber. In the center stood a towering structure, surrounded by intricate machinery. Axel's breath caught in his throat as he recognized it from the holographic recording. "The starfire." "We found it," Axel said, his voice trembling with excitement. "Now we just need to figure out how to activate it." Mira and her team got to work, deciphering the ancient controls and bringing the starfire online. As the machinery hummed to life, a brilliant light filled the chamber, the starfire's core glowing with the power of a star. "We did it," Mira said, her face lit by the dazzling light. "We have the power to turn the tide." Axel smiled, feeling a surge of hope. "Let's get it back to the Prometheus. The Zorgon won't know what hit them." As they prepared to transport the starfire back to the ship, Axel couldn't shake the feeling that their greatest challenge was yet to come. The Zorgon would stop at nothing to claim the starfire for themselves, and the final battle was drawing near. But for the first time in a long while, Axel felt truly optimistic. With the starfire, humanity had a fighting chance, and he would do whatever it took to see that chance realized. The final confrontation. With the starfire safely aboard the Prometheus, the crew worked tirelessly to integrate its systems with their own. Mira and her team were running on little sleep, but their spirits were high, driven by the knowledge that they held the key to turning the tide against the Zorgon. "We're almost there," Mira said, wiping sweat from her brow as she monitored the starfire's integration. "The power output is stabilizing, and the control interface is nearly operational." Axel watched the progress from the command deck, feeling a mix of anticipation and anxiety. The Prometheus had become a beacon of hope, but it also painted a target on their backs. The Zorgon would not sit idly by while the humans wielded such a powerful weapon. Zepp joined Axel, his expression grim but determined. "We've picked up Zorgon ships on long-range sensors. They're closing in fast. We need to be ready to deploy the starfire as soon as possible." Axel nodded. "We'll be ready. This is our chance to show the Zorgon that humanity won't go down without a fight." As the Zorgon fleet approached, the crew of the Prometheus braced for battle. The ship's upgraded systems hummed with energy, the starfire's power coursing through its veins. Zepp stood at the helm, his eyes fixed on the view screen where the enemy ships loomed ever closer. "All hands, battle stations," Zepp ordered. "Prepare to engage the enemy." "Axel, Mira, how's the starfire looking?" Mira's voice crackled over the comms. "We're good to go, Captain. The starfire is fully integrated and ready for deployment." "Excellent," Zepp replied. "Axel, I want you on the ground team. We'll need to hit them hard and fast, and I need my best out there." Axel saluted. Yes, sir. We'll give them hell. The Zorgon fleet emerged from hyperspace, their ships forming a formidable wall of firepower. The Prometheus's sensors lit up with alerts as the enemy vessels locked onto them. Incoming fire, Zep shouted. Brace for impact. The Prometheus shook as the first volley of plasma bolts struck its shields. The advanced technology from the Icarus held strong, absorbing the impact and protecting the ship. Axel and his team boarded a tactical shuttle, preparing for their mission to disable the Zorgon flagship. Remember the plan, Axel said, addressing his team. We board their flagship, disable their command systems, and give the Prometheus a clear shot to deploy the Starfire. This is our chance to take the fight to them. The shuttle launched from the Prometheus, weaving through the chaotic battlefield. Zorgon fighters swarmed around them, but the shuttle's cloaking technology kept them hidden from enemy sensors. As they neared the flagship, Axel's heart pounded with adrenaline. Docking sequence initiated, the pilot said. Hold on tight. The shuttle latched onto the Zorgon flagship's hull, and Axel led his team through the airlock. They moved quickly and silently, their weapons at the ready. The corridors of the Zorgon ship were dimly lit and filled with the guttural sounds of the alien crew. Stay sharp, Axel whispered. We're deep in enemy territory. They navigated the maze-like interior of the flagship, using their advanced scanners to locate the command center. As they rounded a corner, they encountered a group of Zorgon soldiers. Axel signaled for his team to take cover. Wait for my signal, he mouthed. The Zorgon soldiers passed by, unaware of the humans' presence. Axel motioned for his team to move forward, and they continued their approach to the command center. Finally, they reached a massive door, the symbols of the Zorgon Empire etched into its surface. This is it, Axel said. Get ready. They breached the door, storming into the command center. The Zorgon officers inside reacted with surprise and fury, but Axel's team was faster. They dispatched the aliens with precision, securing the room. Plant the charges, Axel ordered. We need to disable their systems. As his team set the explosives, Axel accessed a flagship's control terminal. He transmitted a signal back to the Prometheus, informing Zep that they were in position. Captain, we're ready, Axel said. On your command. Zep's voice came through the comms, resolute and steady. Good work, Axel. Stand by for deployment. Back on the Prometheus, Zep and Mira activated the Starfire. The ship's hull glowed with an intense energy as the weapon charged, its power focused on the Zorgon fleet. The enemy ships fired relentlessly, but the Prometheus's shields held strong. Target locked, Mira announced. Deploying the Starfire in 3, 2, 1. Beam of brilliant energy shot from the Prometheus, piercing through the void and striking the Zorgon flagship. The ship shuddered under the impact, its hull glowing white-hot as the Starfire's energy tore through its core. Explosions rippled through the enemy fleet as the flagship disintegrated. Direct hit, Zep shouted. The flagship is down. On the Zorgon flagship, Axel and his team felt the ship lurch beneath them. Time to go, Axel yelled. They raced back to their shuttle, the corridors shaking with the force of the explosions. They launched from the dying ship, speeding back to the Prometheus as the Zorgon fleet began to retreat. We did it, Axel said, his voice filled with relief. We actually did it. As the shuttle docked with the Prometheus, the crew erupted in cheers. The Zorgon fleet was in full retreat, their flagship destroyed and their morale shattered. Axel stepped onto the bridge, greeted by the sight of his comrades celebrating their hard-earned victory. Zep turned to Axel, a proud smile on his face. You did good, Axel. We all did. Humanity has a fighting chance because of you. Axel nodded, feeling a sense of accomplishment and hope. This is just the beginning, Captain. The fight isn't over, but we've shown the Zorgon that humanity won't be easily defeated. Mira joined them, her face lit with excitement. And with the technology from the Icarus, We have the means to rebuild and grow stronger. Zep placed a hand on Axel's shoulder. Let's get back to work. We've got a galaxy to protect, and the Starfire is just the beginning. As the Prometheus set course for their next destination, the crew felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had faced impossible odds and emerged victorious, and now they were ready to take the fight to the Zorgon. With the Starfire and the advanced technology of the Icarus, they had the tools they needed to secure humanity's future. And so, the Prometheus and its crew embarked on the next chapter of their journey, united in their determination to protect their home and stand against the darkness. The stars beckoned, and they answered the call with courage and hope. A new dawn. The Prometheus sailed through the vast expanse of space, its crew buzzing with renewed energy and hope. With the Starfire operational and the technology from the Icarus integrated into their systems, they felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. In the ship's briefing room, Zep convened a meeting with the key officers and engineers. A holographic map of the galaxy hovered above the table, marked with the locations of known Zorgon strongholds and potential allies. We've dealt a significant blow to the Zorgon, Zep began, but this is far from over. We need to take advantage of our momentum and forge alliances with other species who oppose the Zorgon Empire. Mira nodded, her eyes scanning the map. I've been analyzing the data from the Icarus. There are several species who could be valuable allies. The Rallic, the Vron, and the Tellurian Confederacy have all resisted Zorgon expansion in the past. Axel leaned forward, his mind already strategizing. We should start with the Rallic. Their technology is advanced, and they've got a strong warrior culture. If we can convince them to join us, it would be a major boost to our efforts. Zep agreed. The Rallic are our best bet. We'll set a course for their homeworld and initiate diplomatic contact. But we need to be prepared for resistance. The Zorgon will undoubtedly try to undermine our efforts. As the Prometheus altered its course, the crew worked tirelessly to prepare for their next mission. Axel and Mira reviewed the intel on the Rallic, crafting a strategy for their diplomatic approach. Zep ensured that the ship's defenses were at full strength, anticipating possible Zorgon interference. The journey to the Rallic homeworld was tense but uneventful. The crew's spirits remained high, buoyed by their recent victory and the prospect of new allies. As they approached the planet, the sight of its massive fortified cities and sprawling landscapes filled them with awe. Opening hailing frequencies, Mira announced, "Let's hope they're willing to listen." The view screen flickered, and the stern visage of a Rallic commander appeared. His eyes, sharp and intense, scrutinized the humans before him. "This is Commander Zep of the starship Prometheus," Zep began. "We seek an audience with your leaders to discuss an alliance against the Zorgon Empire." The Rallic commander regarded them for a moment before responding. "Your presence here is unexpected, human. We have heard of your recent victory. Very well, we will hear you out. Prepare for landing." The Prometheus descended to the Rallic capital, its landing bay bustling with activity. Axel, Mira, and Zep disembarked, accompanied by a small delegation of their most trusted officers. They were escorted to a grand hall where the Rallic Council awaited. The council chamber was an imposing structure, adorned with banners and symbols of Rallic heritage. The council members, a mix of seasoned warriors and wise leaders, regarded the humans with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. "Greetings," Zep began, bowing respectfully. "We come in peace and with a proposition that could benefit both our peoples. The Zorgon Empire poses a threat to us all. Together, we can stand against them and secure a future free from their tyranny." One of the council members, a tall and imposing figure named General Thrax, spoke up. "We have fought the Zorgon for generations. What makes you think your alliance can succeed where others have failed?" Axel stepped forward, his voice confident. "We possess advanced technology from our past, and we recently dealt a significant blow to the Zorgon fleet. But more importantly, we have the determination and resilience to fight for our freedom. With your strength and our technology, we can turn the tide." The council members exchanged glances, murmuring among themselves. Finally, General Frax nodded. "You speak with conviction. We will consider your proposal. In the meantime, you are welcome to stay and learn from our ways." The humans spent the next several days immersed in Ralic culture, training alongside their warriors and sharing knowledge. Bonds began to form as they demonstrated their commitment and capability. Axel and Miro worked closely with the Ralic engineers, finding ways to integrate their technologies. One evening, as the sun set over the rugged landscape, Axel stood with General Frax, watching a training session. "Your people are strong," Axel remarked. "With your help, we can build an alliance that will be unstoppable." Frax nodded, a hint of a smile on his stern face. "You have earned our respect, human. When the time comes, we will stand with you against the Zorgon." As the Prometheus prepared to depart, the Ralic Council officially pledged their support. Zep addressed the crew, his voice filled with pride and determination. "We have taken the first step towards building a united front against the Zorgon. With the Ralic at our side, we are stronger than ever. But our journey is far from over. We must continue to seek out allies and prepare for the battles ahead. Together, we will forge a new dawn for humanity and all who stand with us." The Prometheus set a course for the next potential ally, its crew ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. The stars stretched out before them, a vast and uncharted frontier filled with both danger and hope. United in their mission, they pressed onward, determined to secure a future of freedom and peace. United we stand. The Prometheus sailed onward, its crew driven by a renewed sense of purpose. With the Ralic now allies, they turned their attention to the next potential members of their coalition, the Vron, a technologically advanced species known for their intelligence and strategic acumen. The journey to Vron space was fraught with anticipation. Mira spent countless hours studying their culture and history, preparing for the delicate negotiations ahead. Axel coordinated with the Ralic, planning joint operations to strengthen their alliance. As they approached the Vron star system, the crew's tension was palpable. The Vron were known to be cautious and suspicious of outsiders. Convincing them to join the fight against the Zorgon would require tact and diplomacy. Entering Vron space, Mira announced, "Opening hailing frequencies." A moment later, the image of a Vron diplomat appeared on the view screen. Her expression was inscrutable, her large, dark eyes reflecting a keen intellect. "This is Commander Zep of the starship Prometheus," Zep began. "We seek an audience with your leaders to discuss a potential alliance against the Zorgon Empire." The Vron diplomat studied them for a moment before responding. "Your reputation precedes you, Commander Zep. We are aware of your recent actions against the Zorgon. You will be granted an audience. Prepare for docking." The Prometheus docked at a sleek, advanced space station orbiting the Vron homeworld. Zep, Axel, and Mira, along with a few select officers, were escorted to a grand conference hall. The Vron Council awaited them, their expressions guarded. "Greetings," Zep began, bowing slightly. "We come with a proposal to unite our strengths against a common enemy. The Zorgon Empire threatens us all. Together, we can stand against them and secure our future." One of the council members, a dignified figure with a commanding presence, responded, "We are aware of the Zorgon threat. However, we must ask, what can you offer us that we do not already possess?" Mira stepped forward, her voice steady and confident. "We possess advanced technology from our past, and we have recently secured the allegiance of the Ralic. Our combined forces, along with your strategic brilliance, could turn the tide of this war. But more importantly, we offer our unwavering commitment to this cause. Together, we can achieve what none of us could alone." The Vron Council deliberated, their whispers filling the hall. Finally, the lead council member nodded. "We will consider your proposal. In the meantime, you are welcome to stay and demonstrate your capabilities." The humans spent the next several days working alongside the Vron, sharing knowledge and strategies. They participated in joint training exercises and demonstrated their advanced technology. Bonds began to form, and mutual respect grew. One evening, as Axel and Mira walked through the Vrom's capital city, they marveled at the blend of technology and nature. The Vrom had created a society that was both advanced and harmonious with their environment. "They're incredible," Mira said. "If we can earn their trust, they will be invaluable allies." Axel nodded. "We're making progress. We just need to keep proving ourselves." Their dedication paid off. The Vrom Council officially pledged their support, recognizing the potential of a united front against the Zorgon. Zep addressed the crew, his voice filled with hope and determination. "With the Vrom now on our side, our coalition grows stronger. We have forged alliances that were once thought impossible, but we must continue to seek out others who share our vision of a free and peaceful galaxy. Together, we will stand against the Zorgon and secure a future for all our peoples." As the Prometheus set a course for their next destination, the crew felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had faced incredible odds and emerged victorious, forging alliances that would shape the future of the galaxy. United in their mission, they pressed onward, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The stars stretched out before them, a vast and uncharted frontier, filled with both danger and hope. The crew of the Prometheus, united with their new allies, stood ready to defend their home and build a brighter future for all. The gathering storm. The Prometheus continued its journey through the galaxy, now accompanied by a growing coalition of allies. With the Ralik and the Vrom on their side, the crew felt more confident, but they were acutely aware of the looming threat of the Zorwan Empire. The next objective was clear: to seek out the Tellurian Confederacy, a faction known for their extensive network and strategic influence. The journey to the Tellurian space was long and fraught with uncertainty. The Tellurians were known to be reclusive, engaging only with those who could offer something of significant value. Zep, Mira, and Axel prepared meticulously for their approach, knowing that their success could hinge on their ability to convince the Tellurians of the urgency of their cause. As the Prometheus approached the Tellurian system, the crew's anticipation was palpable. The Tellurian Confederacy was known for its advanced technology and intricate web of alliances. Their decision to join the coalition could shift the balance of power. Entering Tellurian space, Mira announced, her fingers dancing over the control panel, opening hailing frequencies. The view screen flickered, and a stern-faced Tellurian envoy appeared. His demeanor was cold and calculating, reflecting the Tellurians' reputation for cautious diplomacy. "This is Commander Zep of the starship Prometheus," Zep said, his voice steady. "We request an audience with your leaders to discuss a potential alliance against the Zorvan Empire." The envoy's eyes narrowed as he assessed the humans before him. "The Tellurian Confederacy is aware of the Zorgon threat. However, we require proof of your commitment and capability before we consider any alliance." Zep nodded. "We understand. We are prepared to demonstrate our resolve and our ability to contribute to the fight against the Zorgon. Please grant us the opportunity to prove ourselves." The envoy considered this for a moment before nodding. "Very well. You'll be granted a meeting with our council. Prepare for docking." The Prometheus docked at a sprawling Tellurian space station, its design sleek and efficient. The crew disembarked and were escorted to the council chamber, a grand hall filled with intricate technology and sophisticated decor. The Tellurian Council awaited them, a group of distinguished leaders and strategists. Zep, Axel, and Mira entered, their demeanor respectful but resolute. "Greetings," Zep began, bowing slightly. "We come seeking an alliance to combat the Zorgon Empire. Our coalition now includes the Ralik and the Vron, and we have proven our commitment through significant actions against the Zorgon. We ask for your support in this critical fight." A council member, a tall and regal figure named Prime Minister Kale, spoke up. "Your actions have not gone unnoticed. However, the Tellurian Confederacy values strategic advantage and security above all else. What guarantees can you provide that an alliance with you will be beneficial?" Mira stepped forward, her voice clear and persuasive. "We offer our advanced technology, our strategic expertise, and the full support of our allies. Our coalition is dedicated to the mutual defense of our peoples. By joining forces, we can not only resist the Zorgon, but also ensure the stability and security of our respective regions. The council members exchanged glances, their expressions thoughtful. Finally, Prime Minister Kale nodded. We will agree to a provisional alliance. We expect you to demonstrate your capabilities and commitment during this period. Should you prove your value, we will formalize our alliance. The humans were granted access to Tellurian resources and technology. They worked closely with Tellurian engineers, exchanging knowledge and coordinating strategies. The integration of Tellurian technology provided a significant boost to their operations, enhancing the Prometheus's capabilities and expanding their reach. One evening, as Axel reviewed the latest tactical data, he and Mira discussed their progress. "We're making headway," Axel said, his eyes focused on the glowing screens. "The Tellurian technology is incredible. If we can show them that our coalition can effectively counter the Zorgon, we'll secure their full support." Mira nodded. "We've also been gathering intelligence on Zorgon movements and strategies. The more we learn, the better we can plan our operations." Their efforts were rewarded when Prime Minister Kale convened a meeting to discuss the next steps. The council had been impressed by the humans' dedication and the capabilities of their coalition. "The provisional alliance has proven fruitful," Kale announced. "We are prepared to formalize our alliance with the Prometheus and its coalition. Together, we will coordinate our efforts and resources to fight the Zorgon Empire." Zep, Axel, and Mira expressed their gratitude, recognizing the significance of this development. With the Tellurian Confederacy now officially part of their coalition, their position against the Zorgon strengthened considerably. As the Prometheus prepared for its next mission, Zep addressed the crew, his voice filled with optimism and determination. "We have achieved a major milestone. With the Tellurian Confederacy now fully allied with us, our coalition is stronger than ever. But we must remain vigilant and continue to build our strength. Our fight against the Zorgon is far from over, and the road ahead will be challenging. Together, we will face these challenges and secure a future of peace and freedom for all our peoples." The Prometheus set its course for the next objective, ready to continue its mission with newfound allies and renewed purpose. The crew, united and determined, faced the future with unwavering resolve. As the stars stretched out before them, the Prometheus sailed onward, prepared to confront the Zorgon Empire and shape the destiny of the galaxy. The battle begins. With the Tellurian Confederacy formally allied with the coalition, the Prometheus and its new partners were poised to launch a major offensive against the Zorgon Empire. The stakes had never been higher, and the urgency of their mission was palpable. The coalition's combined forces were preparing for a pivotal battle that could determine the fate of their worlds. Zep, Mira, and Axel convened in the Prometheus's command center, where the latest intelligence on Zorgon movements and fortifications was being analyzed. The room was abuzz with activity as officers and analysts coordinated the upcoming operation. "We've gathered substantial intelligence on Zorgon fleet deployments," Mira reported, her eyes scanning the holographic map before her. "Their primary stronghold in the sector is heavily fortified, but we've identified weak points in their defenses that we can exploit." Axel nodded, studying the data closely. "Our objective will be to strike those weak points with precision. We need to create openings in their defenses and disrupt their command structure. This will require coordinated strikes from all our allies." The Tellurian representatives, including Prime Minister Kale and General Vora, were also present. Kale's sharp eyes conveyed both the weight of the situation and the confidence in their combined efforts. "We've allocated our forces for a multi-pronged assault," Kale announced. "Our fleets will strike simultaneously from different directions, creating confusion and forcing the Zorgons to spread their resources thin. The Prometheus will lead one of these assaults, targeting their primary communications hub." The plan was audacious and risky, but it was the most effective strategy available. The coalition forces, now well prepared and equipped, began their final preparations for the assault. The tension among the crew and allies was palpable, each person aware of the gravity of the upcoming battle. As the Prometheus and its ally fleets emerged from hyperspace near the Zorgon stronghold, the scene was both awe-inspiring and intimidating. The Zorgon fortress, a massive structure of dark metal and pulsating energy fields, loomed in the distance. Its defenses were formidable, but the coalition was ready. "All hands to battle stations," Zep ordered, his voice calm but resolute. "Prepare for engagement." The Prometheus and its allied ships surged forward, unleashing a barrage of energy weapons and missiles. The Zorgon defenses, though formidable, were caught off guard by the simultaneous assault from multiple directions. The coalition's combined firepower was overwhelming, and the Zorgon forces scrambled to respond. The battle was intense and chaotic. The Prometheus maneuvered through the fray, its advanced technology and weapons proving crucial in the conflict. Zep, Mira, and Axel coordinated their efforts with precision, targeting key Zorgon assets and disrupting their command structure. Mira monitored the progress of the assault, her eyes flashing with determination. "We've breached their outer defenses, engaging secondary targets now." Axel, commanding a squadron of fighter craft, engaged in close-quarters combat with Zorgon ships. The agile fighters darted through the enemy lines, their weapons cutting through the Zorgon vessels with deadly efficiency. In the midst of the battle, Zep focused on his primary objective, the Zorgon communications hub. The facility was heavily defended, but the Prometheus's advanced targeting systems enabled them to strike key vulnerabilities. Targeting the communications hub, Zep announced, his fingers deftly manipulating the controls. "Prepare to launch a focused assault." The Prometheus's weapon systems locked onto the hub, and with a series of precise strikes, the facility was crippled. The Zorgon command structure was thrown into disarray, and the coalition forces pressed their advantage. Despite the chaos, the coalition's coordination remained impeccable. The Tellurian and Valak fleets worked in concert with the Prometheus, their combined firepower overwhelming the Zorgon defenses. As the battle raged on, Zep and his crew faced numerous challenges. The Zorgon Empire's response was fierce, and the coalition's forces were pushed to their limits. But the determination and resolve of the Allied fleets were unwavering. "Hold the line," Zep shouted over the comms. "We're making progress, but we need to keep the pressure on." The battle continued through the long hours of the night, with both sides suffering heavy losses. But as the coalition's forces systematically dismantled Zorgon defenses, it became clear that victory was within reach. Finally, as the first light of dawn illuminated the battlefield, the Zorgon stronghold lay in ruins. The coalition had achieved a decisive victory, but the cost had been high. The battlefield was littered with debris, and the surviving Zorgon forces were in full retreat. On the bridge of the Prometheus, Zep, Mira, and Axel surveyed the aftermath of the battle. The victorious but battered crews were already assessing the damage and preparing for the next steps. "We did it," Zep said, his voice filled with exhaustion and relief. "The Zorgon stronghold is destroyed, and we've dealt a significant blow to their empire." Mira nodded, her face reflecting the wariness of the battle. "It was a hard-fought victory. We've proven the strength of our coalition and the effectiveness of our strategy." Axel, his face smeared with grime and sweat, offered a grim smile. "We've taken a major step forward, but this is just the beginning. The Zorgons will regroup, and we need to be prepared for their next move." The coalition forces began their recovery and reconstruction efforts, tending to the wounded and assessing the damage. The victory was a significant achievement, but the war against the Zorgon Empire was far from over. As the Prometheus and its allies regrouped and prepared for the next phase of their campaign, the resolve of the coalition was stronger than ever. The battle had demonstrated the power of unity and the strength of their combined efforts. With renewed determination, they faced the future, ready to confront whatever challenges lay ahead. The stars above shone brightly, a symbol of hope and the promise of a future where the forces of good and unity could prevail over the darkness of oppression and tyranny. The Prometheus sailed onward, its crew and allies united in their quest for a better tomorrow. The aftermath. As the debris from the battle settled, the true scale of the victory began to emerge. The coalition forces, though battered and bruised, had managed to strike a decisive blow against the Zorgon Empire. The once feared stronghold lay in ruins, a testament to the combined might of humanity and its new allies. On the bridge of the Prometheus, Zep, Mira, and Axel were deep in discussion. The aftermath of the battle had left them with both a sense of accomplishment and a myriad of challenges to address. The task of rebuilding and strategizing for future engagements loomed large. "Assessment reports are coming in," Mira announced, her voice carrying the weight of the situation. "Our losses were significant, but we've managed to inflict heavy damage on the Zorgons. Their command structure is in disarray, and their remaining forces are retreating to regroup." Zep nodded, his expression grim but determined. "We've achieved a major victory, but we can't afford to rest on our laurels. The Zorgons will regroup and retaliate. We need to capitalize on this opportunity and strengthen our position." Axel, who had been coordinating with various units, spoke up. "We need to focus on recovery and reinforcement. The coalition's fleets have taken damage, and we must ensure that our allies are ready for the next phase of the campaign." As the coalition forces began their recovery operations, engineers and technicians worked tirelessly to repair the damaged ships and equipment. The Prometheus itself had sustained significant damage during the battle, and the crew was hard at work to restore its full operational capabilities. The Tellurian and Rallic representatives were also busy coordinating their recovery efforts. Prime Minister Kale and General Vora were in constant communication with their respective forces, ensuring that their fleets were prepared for the challenges ahead. "The next step is to consolidate our gains," Kale said during a strategy meeting with Zep, Mira, and Axel. "We've crippled a major Zorgon stronghold, but we need to maintain the momentum. Our intelligence suggests that the Zorgons are planning a counteroffensive. We must be ready." The coalition's focus shifted to reinforcing their positions and preparing for the inevitable counterattack. The Prometheus, with its advanced technology and experienced crew, played a central role in this effort. The crew worked around the clock, repairing damage and upgrading their systems to ensure they were at their best. Amidst the rebuilding efforts, a sense of camaraderie and unity grew among the coalition forces. The shared experience of the battle had forged strong bonds between the humans and their allies. The Tellurian and Rallic soldiers, once strangers, now fought alongside their human counterparts with a sense of mutual respect and trust. In the mess hall of the Prometheus, Zep, Mira, and Axel took a rare moment to relax and reflect on the events that had transpired. The room was filled with the sounds of subdued conversations and the clinking of cutlery as the crew enjoyed a well-deserved meal. "You know," Zep said, taking a sip of his drink, "it's moments like these that remind me why we fight. The sheer determination and bravery of our allies, the resilience of our crew, it's all worth it." Mira smiled, her eyes reflecting the warmth of camaraderie. "We've come a long way, and we've achieved more than we could have imagined, but we still have a long road ahead. The Zorgons won't give up easily." Axel, looking around at the gathered crew, added, "We've proven that we can overcome incredible odds when we stand together. Whatever comes next, we'll face it as a united front." As the crew of the Prometheus continued their recovery efforts and prepared for the next phase of their campaign, they knew that the road ahead would be challenging. The Zorgon Empire was a formidable opponent, and the coalition's victory was only a beginning. The stars outside the Prometheus's viewport seemed to twinkle with renewed hope. The galaxy was vast and filled with uncertainties, but the coalition's recent triumph was a beacon of light in the darkness. The resolve of humanity and its allies was unshakable, and their commitment to forging a better future remained steadfast.